landscapes, each of which speaks its own language. Speaking of space, welcome to Goa, the land of Sussegar, sunshine and some of the most breathtaking cinematic locations. While Bollywood might have convinced you that Goa is all about beach parties, scooter rides and random romance montages, the real Goa is far beyond layered. It is a land of rich history, vibrant traditions and stories waiting to be told. Now, if you arrive here expecting a Dil Chata Hai style adventure, let me warn you. We may not offer midnight beach parties or spontaneous raves, but what we do promise are intellectually wild debates, gripping discussions and PowerPoint presentations that may not dazzle like disco lights, but will certainly leave you inspired. A special welcome to the research scholars who will have the tough task of participating in the best paper presentation competition. Dear scholars, remember that you are not just going to present facts, you will weave a narrative of discovery. Your ideas should have the power to shape perspective, your methodology will reflect the rigor of your inquiry, and your content may speak to the depth of your understanding. But beyond data and arguments, it is your passion that will make the real impact. Your presentation is your voice, let it be confident, persuasive and engaging. Dear scholars, step forward not with fear but with the excitement of sharing something valuable with the world. Remember, research is not just about competition, it is about contribution. So, don't worry, be positive and sportive.
Film studies in South Asia came into being during the pandemic times. A few academics, film scholars working in different universities of India came together and we started a program. It was a long time desire in my heart that we need to establish a platform in India which is completely devoted to film studies. I come from the Department of English, and wherever I was attending conferences on literature, I was making presentations on films. And I know that in India many academics, faculty from departments of English contribute to film studies, and that there is a joke, there are only 2.5 departments of film studies in this country. Initially, it was a team and Dr. Chandrakant Nandare, Professor Hariprasad from IFLU, and Ramnupri from TIST Mumbai, and we had another member, Professor Nishat Hadar from Jharkhand. We came together and we started this association. And we successfully organized 4 online conferences. Professor Nishat, then she got busy with some other university assignments, personal commitments, and we had a new member, Dr. Dejani Haldar with us, who was served as a faculty and a filmmaker. The idea was that we must create a space in India which focuses exclusively on film studies. And with this idea in mind, we have successfully, as I told you earlier, organized a couple of online conferences on various themes, talking about alternative cinemas in India, talking about borders and other issues. And finally, we wanted to have an in-person conference last time as well, but that couldn't happen. And we are happy that when we thought of our 5th conference on spaces, then DM College shook hands with us, and we are able to organize this conference well. Representatives in films, it's more than that. When we talk about different art forms operate either in time or space. It is understood that music primarily operates in time. Poetry primarily operates in time. Storytelling operates in time, but it has spatial angle too. Film is a medium in which no doubt stories are told, but when stories are told in space. The moment a single shot is taken, spaces are captured. Space is such an integral part of cinema. So cinema space, starting with screen space, how the spaces in a way were captured by camera, how it is shown on screen, how much of depth is there, what is the arrangement of characters vis-a-vis the landscape around or other objects or other characters. When stories are told, narrative itself becomes a space through which certain dialogues are established. And let's not forget that cinema itself is a space, the way films are circulated, the way films are watched, the way people respond to, starting from old times when we used to go to cinema halls, which also had 3-tier structure, and from PVRs, from PVRs to multiplexes to we have OTTs, and then we have films on our consoles and on our networks as well.
What we are witnessing today is, if you can see the logo, we as a GMC are celebrating our 50th year of existence of the college. Although our society is more than 100 years old, the college started way back in 1974. So we are completing 50th year, and we, as a matter of celebration, we are organizing such events to reach out to the entire society and bring about a change. So I think when you talk about cinema as rightly told by the introduction given by the of the chief guest, is a force to change or transform the society. I think it can be used as a tool to challenge the norms and ask questions. And I think Goa is not new to cinema. Goa has been depicted since the cinema started exploring things. Goa has been there in the thick of action all the time, although it has not been depicted in the right way it has to be. I feel such events are very much necessary so that people come and discuss and debate on what are the changes which are happening in the society. As it is said, films are the mirrors of the society. The societal changes which are happening. With the modern technology coming in, modern thought process coming in, the psychological changes in the new generation, I think films can bring us all together on one platform and make us discuss certain issues which are very important in our day-to-day life. So I think this kind of an event will surely add momentum to this revolution, I would say, or the efforts by the AFSSA to bring this South Asian culture. When we say South Asian, I feel all these countries have similar culture. And when we discuss all these issues of the society, it means a lot to all the people who are watching the films in different media.
While Kapadia has become a sort of well-known name, and her film has actually resulted in a lot of recognition for the kind of work she's done earlier. But there are other filmmakers who are actually playing around with the form and the genre, which should be interesting to you as researchers and scholars. So I hope you do pay attention in the future to films like these as well. Yes, we are talking about spaces here, but and spaces about cinema. But I've also wondered, why must we define cinema in some narrow manner? Today, for instance, when I look at OTT, it is actually redefining cinema. If you start looking at OTT not as episodes, because people are doing binge watching, but as 4-hour films or 6-hour films or 8-hour films, you would actually start looking at them in a very, very different way and see how they are pushing the boundaries of filmmaking in every way possible. Right from screenplay writing to structuring to scripting to research and detailing to playing around with cinematography to playing around with spaces to playing around with sound and raising themes that mainstream cinema actually does not any longer do. I can cite you example after example, something like Patal Lok, for instance, what it is doing. Something like Cobra Award. It had never gone to a documentary before and never afterwards. And the jury was headed by this well-known French feminist filmmaker, Catherine Breillat, and a couple of other, fiction filmmakers. So the fact that they chose it out of nearly 150 films that were making their debut in that festival, including my friend Vishal Bhardwaj's Maqbool that I was rooting for, made me actually talk to the jury later, when we met for an interaction after the awards. And I asked them very seriously, why the hell did you choose my film? Because I was completely flummoxed. I didn't even know that I was in competition. I had assumed, that this award was only for narrative, fiction films with actors. And they talked to me about, it really made me wonder why. Why is it that documentary does not find any space here? Is it because it's considered a lesser art form? Is it because it does not merit academic rigor and study? Does the Indian academia, I asked myself, also see documentary as a poor cousin of feature filmmaking? Most people think that documentaries are a stepping stone to making feature films. Just as a sort of light aside, after I won many awards and my films were being circulated the world over, many well-meaning friends and of course supporters would ask me, आप feature film कब बना रहे हैं, film कब बना रहे हैं? When are you going to make a proper film? And I would often say that when I'm making proper films, I'm actually making feature-length documentaries which are narrative in nature. So, and these are being recognized the world over, for the kind of things I'm doing with the craft and the form. But the perception in the popular realm is that documentaries are not cinema. Only films made with actors are cinema, which is something that I would like to dispel completely with you, in the fond hope that you would actually pay attention to the form as well, more seriously in the coming years. Yes, we make a choice to work with cinema verite material, spontaneously shot material in real life. But we are storytellers at the end of the day. I do not see myself as a documentary filmmaker. I am a storyteller. That I made that choice to tell my stories not with actors but with real material is a very deliberate choice necessitated by my subjects, by my resources, and by my approach to filmmaking and what I intend my films to do. To actually give you an idea, and I'm on a variety of sub-themes, over 16 sessions in the next 3 days. Hello? Yeah. But what literally jumped out at me, and I found it most remarkable, that documentary filmmaking does not find any space in this international conference on spaces and South Asian cinema. It does not figure at all in any session. No presentation, no discussion. It is as if my tribe does not exist. Or it does not merit any attention by serious filmmakers, by serious academics rather. There is an incredible body of work in the realm of Indian documentary, which is anyway confined to the margins because of poor distribution. But it pains me to see that this is being completely ignored at this very august and erudite gathering. You would like to say something? Oh, I did see that in the list.
Sir.